Hey guys, it's Erin. How's it going? Hope it's going good. Whew. So I just had a talk with my twin. We met up and walked by the river. That was nice. So I wish I could record all my talks that I have with people, because I'm like, oh my god, I wish I could like replicate that for, my audience, to help, tons of people, whoever listens. Because when I just get into this flow of talking and it's just so on point and it's from a higher power, it's like I wish that I could have captured that moment to replay to help so many people. And it's so important to get it in the moment, like with that passion and those words that flow with the emphasis and it's like when you replicate something, it's just not as authentic. It doesn't come out the same. I remember I was recording a video about a prayer. Like I was in a drive-through at like Panera. It's a sandwich place. It's like healthy fast food. And I was praying to God, and I wanted to replicate it. So I tried doing that, and filming it, and it just didn't. It just was like it sounded so bad. And I don't think I'm going to post it because it was just like, it sounded so inauthentic, and I don't like that. I don't like stuff that's like, and I don't know if some of my stuff sounds like that, because I do want to like replicate things that I said, because the message is so important, so it's hard. I don't know. It's like we're not all the Kardashians walking around with a film crew like in our face and like getting perfect shots of us, and it's like, but we talked and it was amazing. And it's just like, there was so much. Oh my god, I have to sneeze right now. I like felt it coming. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Just let it out. Just let it out. Let it flow. Is that like what the message is supposed to be? Just let it out. Okay, so it was like a pep talk. It turned in. See, I never know what these things are going to be. I never know which direction, where anything's coming from. And I want to make a point that that's the point of life. Like, we don't know. We can't make a plan. Like, oh, we're saving money to buy a house in a certain location, and this is the house, and this is the location, and we don't really think, we can't even think of the things that our higher power can think of. So we can't say specifically what we want unless it's like we can manifest like a certain kind of car or a certain kind of house, but I don't know, just like you need to be open to modifications, open to have the universe bring you all your heart's wants and desires. So let's say you want all these things, right? You want the love of your life, you want a house, you want a car, you want, you know, your kids to be amazing, you want all of these things, and you write it all down and you're manifesting all of it. But if you're too specific, it may not work out right, or you know, you're gonna have to be a little bit more lenient on some things. Like let's say that you have, like, for my instance, for me in particular. So let's say that this is kind of what it is. So let's say that my twin flame, okay, we'll just put it out there. He's working 3 jobs. He doesn't have time, but he makes time for me. It's so sweet. Sorry. So he doesn't have time. And I don't want to hear any haters saying like he's just lying to you or whatever, because that's not the case. Okay? We don't think negative on this channel, and I know better than that. And even if that was true, like I don't even want to think in that manner, but that's his loss. So it is what it is. But this is true. So let's just move forward. If anybody thinks that way, you need to change your mindset and stop judging other people, because what you do to others is what you're going to get back in return. So we don't do that on this channel. We are getting away from that mentality. So the reason why I'm even speaking on it is because I want to make that a lesson, okay? Huge lesson in that, okay? We don't judge others, and we don't put negativity out there because we don't want negativity coming back to us. If it unfolds that way, then we'll deal with that as it comes, but we don't put that out into the universe because we don't want that in our lives. If we're manifesting our dreams and everything's in alignment and we feel it, that won't be the case. We cannot attract. If we are in a high vibrational state and we are connected with God and we are seeing signs and we are feeling it, it can't be wrong. And that's a message for myself. You can talk to yourself and give yourself the confidence, because your fears and doubts will always try to invade your manifestations and God's way for you, the devil or whatever these negative energies are that try to get into your head. It's from our past ancestors and this cycle of negativity in our society that we're trying to erase. That's why we're here. Oh my God. I'm arguing with myself. Well, that's for anybody out there that thinks that way, okay? Maybe not about me and my situation, but about others in your life, and you can learn from that, okay? So now moving forward to the other things that I was going to talk about. So this man is working 3 jobs. And to me, I'm like, that's like my hero. That's like a knight in shining armor. That's like a real man, right? In our society, that's what like, if a man is working so hard and we know his heart and we know how loving he is and how he's trying to do the right thing, that is like so attractive, right? But then on the other hand of it, for me, I'm an empath. I'm a loving person. I'm empathetic. I love him with all my heart. He's my twin flame. So everything's on a more intensive level. He is my soul. So when he hurts, I hurt. I don't know if this is true because I don't really talk to him about these things in depth because I can't even literally talk to him. I can text him whenever, but it's not an in-depth conversation. It's hard to talk to somebody like really in depth when you can't speak to them face to face and see and not get things misconstrued and like really talk about like deep topics. It's like really hard. And also, like, I don't want to always be talking about deep pockets. That's funny. I don't want to always be talking about deep topics because it's not like, I want it to be the same between us. Like, I want to maintain the originality of it. I don't want to be like too like preachy or talky. I want to preserve our chemistry, our connection, our balance. I want to maintain a good balance and structure. I want to keep that open, airy vibe that's not like, I don't want to dominate conversations or control the narrative. I want to be open to whatever happens. And I want to live in the moment and just let him lead and let him be him. Let us just be. Like, don't have to talk about and control. It's like almost like controlling things when you're talking too much. It's just like, I don't know. It's just, for a love relationship, it's so about the heart and being in the moment and just loving each other and enjoying each other's company. But there's those times that I feel the tension. I feel that there's something going on, like in his mind, or he's not really there with me, like how he is at other times. I can tell, like, so I just start talking and we get into these deep conversations. At first I was talking about stupid stuff and I was like trying to be lighthearted and just like enjoy his company, but I just felt this like need to like go deeper because things weren't flowing right. So the circus is coming. We were just talking about the circus, you guys. When I was walking by the lake, the circus tents were up and he was talking about it. Oh my God, that's so funny. I think I need to move because the circus is coming. They need to like put their tent right here. Okay, so you guys, I had to move my car because literally the circus trucks, Circus Vargas. Okay, I'm at like a mall parking lot and these circus trucks just pulled up because they're gonna start putting up their tents and stuff here. Like, not right now, but they're like going to. That's so funny. Okay, so yeah, so the circus is coming. Do you know what a sign that is? Literally, the circus is coming. Dude, there's no coincidences. How weird is that? I can feel it. I can feel that those are signs. And I'm getting itch. Wow. Okay. Okay. Sometimes we just need to observe and like listen. There's like ambulance or police cars, sirens, and there's just like the sun is going down. It's beautiful. It's like orangey. And yeah. Pay attention to the signs, guys. Okay, so let me talk about what happened. Excuse me. Okay, so I think like whatever is going on in the moment, I'm supposed to talk about, because I need to capture that emotion and that feeling and that passion that's within me at that time. So if I wait till another time to talk, it's not going to get through to people as much, because it needs to come from a passionate, authentic place. And that's where the beauty lies. So I don't know if that made it good. I look like I have a black eye. Okay, and it's not about me, okay? None of this is about me. That's what our talk was at the end of our talk. Okay, I see him as like a superhero, okay? To me, he's like the love of my life, my superhero, my knight in shining armor, the one that's gonna rescue me from the castle, that I'm like Cinderella, but I'm also Wonder Woman, so watch out, because I'm fierce and I'm tough and I can do anything. I was just thinking of, there used to be a commercial about a play that Madonna was in, and it was like, I can do anything better than you. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. And I would sing that over and over again and play around with my kids and stuff like that, because I was just being goofy. And is it Evita or something like that? I don't know. There was a play. So that's how I feel. Like, I feel like inside I'm a completely different person than I portray to the rest of the world. I humble myself all the time. I try to fit in with everyone all the time. And when I nudge myself out of my little shell, I'm getting a picture of a drawing that I did when I was in high school. And it was an egg sitting on tall grass, like an Easter egg hunt. And there was a crack there's a hole, a cracked hole in the top of the egg, and someone was crawling out of it, and there was a little world inside the egg. And so that just came to my mind. Like, I feel like I'm trying to break out of my shell and go into the world that I truly belong in. That's amazing, God. Yes, that's what it's like. But that person was really small. Maybe they grow into the new world like Alice in Wonderland, because I've been getting Alice in Wonderland a lot. Yeah, you have to grow into the new world. You can't just fit in straight away. You have to grow into it. And that's what my twin was saying, because he was giving me some advice about YouTube, because I'm about to launch my videos. And he was saying that, you know, like an NBA player doesn't just play basketball one time and they're like a professional. They have to practice and like grow. So you're not going to get a ton of followers all at once, or you're not going to be perfect right away, but it's, you know, he's very encouraging and supportive. And he's very respectful and caring. But he's very tough and stubborn and confident within himself. Because he knows what he needs to do for himself. So it's not like he's a pushover, or he's just gonna do whatever I say. If I'm like, it doesn't matter how he feels about me, that his kids come first. His priorities are not, his first priority is not me. He's made that clear. So it's like, even if my first priority, see, my kids are older, so it's like you can't go tit for tat. You cannot be like, oh, he has to put in the same effort as me, or he has to do what I want him to do. No. When things are equal and balanced in a relationship, there's a give and take. And in order for puzzle pieces to unite, they are shaped differently. Thank you, God. So that's how they work in perfect harmony, and they fit together so beautifully because they're different. They're different pieces, but when they work together, they fit in perfect harmony. So what I have in some areas, he lacks. Like, I made the time for this relationship because it's of the utmost importance to me. Because I have sacrificed so much, and I have waited so long for him, and I have changed my complete outlook on life, my spirituality, my everything. Like, I believe in twin flames now, and I went on this spiritual journey, and I've become awakened. God speaks through me. Like, this is like my life purpose now. Whether he's there with me or not, this is where my life is going. But I've opened my life in this way to be with him. Because if you don't allow things to enter into your life, they cannot enter. So if I was in my old mindset, I would be working as hard as him right now. I would be working 3 jobs. I would be working every second because I would want the material things in life, thinking that the money would bring about the change, that the money would fix everything, because then you can afford a house, you can afford to travel, you can afford to have quality time with your family, you can afford to go on dates with your partner, you can afford to take time off, you can afford all the things that life has to offer that you want. So therefore, you need to work hard for it and sacrifice now for later. But in this new spiritual mindset, you can't think like that. You have to think the opposite. You have to think that you have faith in God and that you have to live in the now, because now is all that you're ever going to have, and that you have gifts that you were born with from God that are your talents, that are your money maker. It's the easy button in life. So not only you get to do what you love to do, but all your dreams and desires will come true on a much higher level than you could have ever possibly imagined and dreamed of. Even though in our daily lives, like my past mindset was like my twin, like I don't want fancy stuff, like I don't want to be famous, I don't want to live in a mansion, I don't want to have paparazzi, I don't want to have fame and fortune. All I want is a humble life where I can take care of my kids, my family, and provide for them and just live quietly in peace. But what happens is that if you have a purpose in life, if God has a path and a mission for you, if you try to go and just have that peaceful life where you're quiet and you're hiding basically from the world, and you're not living your true purpose and power from within, you're living in a shell of who you really are. You're not taking risks. You're not breaking out. You're not going after your passions. You're holding all of it back. And you're humbling yourself and you're trying to fit in with everybody. You're not being your true, authentic self. And your true, authentic self is who God made you to be for your purpose. So God doesn't want you to humble yourself in that manner, because I don't know if I'm even saying this right. Because say you're extremely talented, but you're very humble, which most of us are like that. Because that humility is God sent. It's the things that broke you, the things that made you become an amazing person, that you overcame, that you learned lessons from, that you have things to teach others. But it also broke your ego down, and that ego death is important, because that humility is important, because that's needed to serve others. You have to humble yourself in order to serve God, to serve others. So there's a purpose for that. But we're misconstruing that humbleness in society, and we're thinking that we are not important anymore because we have children, or we have to take care of our family, or whatever we have to do. That is, it's still in service, but God has a purpose for us that's much higher than that. It's to serve the world. There's a world purpose that is much higher than just this little small stuff, like within our small families and our small communities. Yes, people have purposes on that level that grow to something more. But some of us are being plucked from our humility state and being forced into a much higher purpose. I don't even know if I'm getting this through to everybody. I feel like I'm not saying this right. Hopefully this makes sense to everybody. Okay, so when I was talking to my twin, I was talking about how, imagine if Oprah Winfrey was a humble, hardworking person and she never pursued her passions. That she was a waitress and she was in service of others, waiting tables, and she never followed her heart. She never followed her calling. She never followed her God-given talents. And it was wasted on it. It was taken away from the world. Do you understand the severity of that? Like, imagine this world without Oprah Winfrey, with all the contributions and all the amazing advice, and she changed the world. She single-handedly changed the world. She is one of my most inspirational people on this planet that made me who I am, that made me think the way that I do and be compassionate towards others, and just like so much of who she was inspired me. And you think of those great legendary people that have had so much impact on the world and that makes forward movement in humanity, that makes us grow and learn and get better. You know, like just, what if Apple Computer wasn't born? What if the computer wasn't born? What if, you know, the internet wasn't born? What if, you know, Facebook wasn't born? What if smartphones weren't born? What if, and these are all backed behind people, individuals that took risks, that were doing things differently and putting themselves out there, like Elon Musk and but like Obama, and being the best that you can possibly be. I'm thinking Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick. Yes, the one that did, thank you, God. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Martin Luther King, Will Smith. I know I'm talking about a lot of black people, but those are the people that made like huge change to this world. Even Rodney King, like, you don't have to be like super famous, but sometimes God will use people like that, or the universe, whoever that higher power is that you believe in, will use people. And even on a sad note, like Floyd, why am I not remembering his first name? George Floyd, you know? But he's an angel in heaven. Like, that was his mission on this earth, to have that happen. He signed up for that before he even arrived to earth. His sole contract was to make an impact on the world. He didn't know that, but his soul knew that. He didn't want to die. He didn't want to leave his family. His family didn't want him to leave. But that's an amazing legacy to live. And I'm sure his soul would make that sacrifice for humanity. So we can't think ill on God when bad things happen like that. It's just, there's a purpose for all of us. There's a purpose for all of our lives. And I'm thinking of the Big Brother house. I don't know if you guys know that show. This had came into my mind. I got this channeled message that I forgot about. So the spirits above are guiding me to talk about this. Okay, so there's this house of people that don't know each other, that it's a reality show, and they try to all get along and compete, and then they vote each other out, and then that they don't want, those people that are towards the end of the game have to stay in a house when they get kicked out, because they're going to be voting on the ones that are still left in the house at the end to see like who wins the grand prize of like $1 million or something like that. And so I got this message that it's like, that's how heaven is. It's like the Big Brother house. Like, your soul is in waiting, like for reincarnation, that you are kicking back in this amazing place where it's better than where you were. So I'm getting Kobe Bryant right now, and his daughter, Gia, I believe her name is. Gianna. And I think Kobe wanted me to say like her full name. That's so funny. So they're kicking back in heaven. And Gianna wanted to go with Kobe. Like, Kobe is an angel. Kobe is a special chosen one from God. He had a huge mission and purpose on this planet, and he signed up for that. Like, he was able to live an amazing, beautiful dream life that was perfect. And he wants me to say that it was hard work. It wasn't just fun and games, that he worked his butt off his entire life. But the rewards that he received from everyone, like the love of his family and his fans and everything, was more than anybody could ever hope for. And that his daughter loved him so much that she couldn't bear to leave. And they had such a great bond that she couldn't leave her dad behind. Like, her soul wanted to go with him, and his soul wanted to go with her. There's a special soul connection. And that's not to say that his other family or daughters or wife didn't have the same soul connection, but they had more life to live. They had more to show, that they could grow from that pain and suffering and help others. That's part of the whole thing. Because their soul contracts weren't completed yet. They still had more to do and more to serve humanity. Okay, so this is going way off because I'm getting Kardashians. I'm getting like Robert Kardashian. I'm getting Khloe is a special earth angel, and same with Kim. I don't know if Courtney has soul contracts, but I don't know if she's as connected. Courtney's not truly connected like Khloe and Kim. And Rob's not connected. But they still are, they are serving humanity. Chris is amazing. She's there. She's on her path. She's on her mission. She has many guides, including Rob, or her husband, Robert. He's very proud of his family. And that was his end of his soul contract and his purpose. And he's helping elevate their careers and their purpose. Okay, so I was telling my twin on our walk that imagine if Oprah downplayed her abilities and her sense of self, and she just became a humble servant as a waitress, and she never became someone in the public eye. She could exist in that life, but she wouldn't be happy, and she would be suffering. And what if she just kept turning down opportunities or thinking negative on herself and her confidence? And one thing I like to point out is that everybody has that. Everybody has that mindset because it's in our society. We all can't get away from it. Everybody has, every true-hearted good person has that low confidence and low self-esteem, that they need to work really hard and fight and overcome obstacles to get their confidence, to motivate themselves, to believe in themselves. That's why we go through all of these obstacles. If you think like, why can't life just be easy? Why can't there just be an easy button? Why does God make everything so hard for us? And that's literally why this is the message I was getting this morning, that I was channeling, that we have a purpose and a mission on this planet. That's why no matter who we are, no matter how much money we have or privilege we have, or how we don't have things, we are going to be suffering. God is not going to allow us, or whatever higher power is not going to allow us to have an easy life. There is always suffering. And the reason for suffering is for growth. It's a test of your faith and your character. And it is to promote growth within you so you can become a better, elevated human being for your purpose. That is literally what all of this struggle is all about. And when you eliminate people and negative things from your life, you will understand that you will always attract negative things into your life, because if you're energetically have negative thoughts, you're going to come across negativity. If you try to elevate yourself and go above and elevate above negativity into a positive mindset, which you're elevating higher up towards God. You're using your godly intuition, and you're fighting against what you know is wrong. You're elevating. When you're separating yourself from others, you're separating yourself from the thoughts and ideas of others. You're separating your identity from others, that you are not one to follow, but to lead. You are not just going to listen to what other people tell you to do and do it if you don't believe in it, unless you have to. Like when you're like in high school or in middle school, or you're even in college, and you know that in order to get your degree, you need to go along with what society tells you to do, because you know that you need to learn the truth. You need to learn what is going on in society in order to fix it, in order to elevate. You need to get that education. You need to learn what is the school system teaching currently, so I can use that information to better humanity, to understand what they're teaching that's right and what they're teaching that's wrong, and to correct those wrongs in society. I need to enter into society. I need to do the jobs that are in society and do them to my best ability and learn what's going on. I need to observe and learn how our boss is treating coworkers. Be like you're an internal agent, like you're a spy, and you're observing and you're learning. That's what our youth should be doing. You're infiltrating society as a spy, and you're learning what's going on. in that mindset of observing, you're not reacting. You're not taking it personally. You're not having an ego get in the way of that any wrong that's done is directed to you. It's just the way that things have been done. It's not a reflection. It's not about you. And that's coming back to this whole movement is not about me. It's not about me and my ego. My ego has been stripped from my body in this spiritual awakening. Ego is good, okay? To use it when you need it, to have confidence, to take risks, to have the confidence to get on this channel and to speak my mind. And if others attack me, that I will be strong and secure with who I am, because I have this ego of this representation of who I am and who I know I am from within. And that I know that I can be accepted in society because I know that I can be liked. I know that I can be loved. I know that I can have a presence. I know that I have, good ideas. And that I'm getting some light shined on me like a security. Security! Okay. Future leader of the world. Yes, so you can have that confidence and pull it out when you need to. Because your purpose and your mission isn't about you. You're serving humanity. You're serving God for humanity. So you can separate yourself, your ego, when needed. I'm not going to get self-conscious. I will, because I have an ego. My former self, my humble former self that just wants to serve and dim my light and not be in the spotlight and not just want to hide from the world and not compete and not show my face and not be open and not be vulnerable is still there. And that's what I was telling my twin too. Thank you, God, Spirit, that no matter how confident I may seem, that I can easily flip to that other person at any time. I can flip like in an instant. Anybody can. And that's what I want you to know, is that Oprah can do it. Everybody who's pure-hearted, they fight within themselves to not flip, to not go to the dark side of feeling negative thoughts and fears and doubts. They are fighting to keep in the game, because you're fighting the societal ways of life. So it's like Martin Luther King. It's like, I'm going to say MLK Jr. It's like, I want to be respectful, but to say that, I keep saying that name like full name. But anyways, on to the topic at hand. MLK Jr. What if he never got out of that mindset that was put in every single black person of that time and era? He had to do that in order to be a great leader, in order to make change. If he didn't change his mindset, the whole movement would have collapsed. His speech would have never elevated African Americans. It wouldn't have inspired everybody to get together and join the movement. And he even sacrificed his own life. But that was his purpose, and that was his cause, and that was his soul contract. To be a legend. When there's great leaders like that, it's like God's calling. Even like Kobe Bryant, like, what do you think motivated him to work so hard every day to play basketball at the top of his game? Like, what force motivated him? What force of nature motivated MLK Jr.? What force of nature motivated Oprah Winfrey? What force of nature motivated Obama? What force of nature motivated Will Smith to do all his amazing movies of motivation, to be the actor, to be the best that he could be, and to be a role model to the world? Even though he slipped up and fell from his grace recently, I'm still honoring him. He is a huge part of my path with my twin. God doesn't overlook his goodness and amazing work that he's done to provide this world with inspiration and motivation that's in service of his purpose. And even that incident I'm getting is part of the purpose. And I know it was. That he suffered public humiliation because God didn't want to see him suffering anymore. Because he was losing himself. And I know, like, I don't want to create problems or anything like that, but you can't love others too much that hurt yourself. And that's part of this whole message too, is like, you have to maintain that confidence and belief in yourself and knowing that you're right. When you know that you're right and you know that you're a good person, you know that you're fulfilling your path and your destiny, you can't let other people try to diminish you. And then it can't have negativity in your circle, even if it is your wife, because it's going to come out of you in that way. You can hold it in and try to be your true self and try to be your true character and try to do everything right. But if you don't get it, God will force it upon you and humiliate you. He will do anything to try to shake it out of you. Have a wake-up call. This person in your life is not good for you. Look what you're doing to yourself. He doesn't care if it's your wife or your husband, or God doesn't want his chosen one suffering. So flipping back to what I was saying before about Oprah being a waitress, or Obama or Will Smith or Kobe, like, when you're a chosen one, you have that energy and that purpose deep within your soul that you don't even know why you're doing it. You don't even know why you're so passionate and determined. And it can be from learning things from your childhood, instances and things that were planted there from God for your purpose. So you can psychologically determine what the factors were, but that's designed by God, by your higher power for your purpose. So what I'm trying to get at is that it will be so embedded in your character when you're a chosen one. Your purpose and your mission will be so embedded into your character that you know that you were born for this. You have this determination and this passion that's like, that you can't let it go. But you know what's crazy about my twin, and I see it, I love him so much, that the strongest ones, like my twin, I know he is so amazing and powerful because I know, I just have a deep knowing, okay? Like, I know that he knows what this is. I know that he loves me just as much as I love him. I know that he's willing to do whatever for this relationship if I was to depart from it. I know that he would change and he would, but it's like I love him so much that I don't want to even put him through that. I want to do it on my own first because I know he can't do it. Okay, he has 6 children that he's not with any of the women. The two women. Oh no, he has 5 children. Sorry. He has 5 kids. He's probably like, if he's listening to this, he's like, wait, I don't have 6 kids. Okay, so he has 5 kids, and those relationships didn't work because of his purpose. God, that was not his path. That was not what was supposed to happen for him. And that's why it didn't work out. But he is the type of guy that is like a family man. Like, he's not the type of guy to leave his family unless it's like completely horrible. Like, he's miserable. or there's like circumstances where he can't control. Like, I don't want to put down, like, it's not about the other person necessarily. It's about him and his calling and his purpose. I'm not here to, like, I don't want to put any, like, negative, because I wasn't really thinking when I was saying that. Like, I don't want to sound like this other person made him miserable or anything like that. I literally don't even know what their situation was or anything. All I know is the children were a blessing and they are meant to be. And that everything that happens is meant to be. So I'm not trying to control the situation. I'm open-minded to the whole thing. Like, I can change my mind anytime I want. I'm open. I'm not like set in my ways or like thinking a certain thing and like no. This is just like how I'm thinking at this stage and how I know of how twin flames work and all of that. Okay, that's where I'm coming from. So he has responsibilities and he wants to be the best dad he can be, but he also wants to be happy. He wants to live a good life. He doesn't want to suffer. But yet he's working 3 jobs, 3 full-time jobs. Well, I don't know, like, he's just working like all the time. Like, he has like 5 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep. He has insomnia anyways. So he probably but these are like really intense labor, like back-breaking jobs, like a moving company and a power spray washer and and working in a warehouse, like loading trucks and like delivering and unloading the trucks and washing the trucks and stuff like that. This is like intense manual labor. And this is how he is. This is how come we never have any time together. We can't even see each other very much. But he makes time for me, even if it's just like 20 minutes or half an hour or whatever. It's like, that means more to me than like any kind of anything, because I know the sacrifice. I know the intention behind all of it. I know his heart. Like, I know, oh my God. And then it's like amazing moments. So it's like, it's hard to express like what this journey has been like. I just want to talk forever. But sometimes you just need to like stop and reflect on like those moments and how amazing and spiritual they were. That's when you know it's a higher power that's doing all of this. How can you talk to somebody's soul when they don't talk to you and you just know them? Like what just happened today. He doesn't even really talk to me. But yet I can just talk and like make him feel better. And like he said thank you to me, that he needed the talk. And then I come over here to talk to you guys, and I see this freaking circus trucks. When we were just looking out, and he was talking about there was circus tents. When we never, like, I don't see the circus anywhere. Like, that's weird. Like, why is everything, every time, and every circumstance, like, so meaningful? Why do I get all these downloads about all this stuff and able to talk about all these subjects to help other people? Because it's of purpose. It's like when you know, you know. So, like, I believe I saw, like, Oprah talking about how she just knew she was going to be on TV, or she knew she wanted to be a reporter, and it all just, like, fell into place, and then her life just became huge because she was just being herself. She was just curious and wanting to interview people. She kept her true authenticity. She wasn't looking for fame and fortune. She wasn't looking to be noticed. Her purpose was higher than that. It was for the people. It was to help people. And that's how she was able to elevate and become an amazing inspiration to others and become a billionaire, is because that was her purpose. That was her soul contract. She was on her path with God. God made that all happen for her and give her abundance because of how many people that she helped and blessed on her journey. Kobe's saying that he doesn't want you to think that he was slighted in any way. That his death meant more to the world than his life. Just like George Floyd. You can be doing good in this world and be an angel and be sent back to heaven because you have other duties that are more important in other realms. That your job was finished here, that you are kicking back in the Big Brother house, waiting for your other souls to come back and greet you. But you don't want them to come back because you want them to win. You want them to win at their time in life. You want them to conquer and make an impact and make them proud. That death isn't so sad. It's actually a break. A soul can get some rest. That he put in so much work throughout his life that his soul was tired. And needed rest. That it was time to go. And that he brought other souls with him because they didn't want to leave him. It's almost like I'm envisioning like a spaceship, like Kobe was entering another realm and he was bringing those people with him. Like they're in another realm, traveling. I'm also getting that movie like Looney Tunes, like the Space Jam. Like he's in an alternate reality with these other people that he was friends with and Gianna was friends with, and they're having a good time, that they're in a better place, that it's fun and exciting where they are, that not to be sad that they're gone, but to celebrate their life and to keep going and to keep making an amazing impact on the world, that they're cheering for you. So that's how the souls in heaven, I'm getting itchy, are reacting to the ones that are still here. And my ancestors and my spirit guides are telling me that they're proud of me. So when you think that nobody's like with you and nobody's like, that you're not anything, that you're wrong. That you have your godly duty, your purpose, your mission on this planet, and you know what that is. And you have spirit guides and angels and ancestors that are helping you, reminding you, giving you signs, giving you inspiration to see and to come across, to come in your path, to guide you and show you that direction and that it's possible. And it's up to you to keep that mindset, to see the signs, to be aware, to be open-minded, to take risks, to be confident, to have your ego, to use it in the right way, and to humble yourself when it's necessary, not to downplay yourself. Okay, so now I feel like everything came into full circle, because things were going like, that's how these channelings are. Like they kind of go like in the wrong direction and then they switch back around and then it all makes sense in the end. And like, I literally don't know how that happens. It's literally from spirit. So I'm getting itchy hand. Okay, so let me think if I missed anything. I don't know. I think that's good. I think that's where I'm just supposed to leave it off. I just know that I could do things easier. I could leave my twin and find somebody else and do YouTube with them